So guys, let's continue our discussion. Till now I have uploaded 5 videos, and in my previous video we were discussed till Buddhism. Okay, in this video we will thoroughly understand about rise of Magadha Empire and Persian and Greek invasion. Okay, before starting our discussion, let's quickly understand some basic concepts. This Magadha Empire and Persian and Greek invasion happened during the rise of Jainism and Buddhism period itself. Okay, we can say that it has happened around 6th century BC. Okay, as we discussed in Vedic period, during early Vedic period, the highest political unit was called as Jana or tribes. Then later Vedic period, this Jana or tribes became Janapadas. Janapadas means larger kingdom. Then later, around 6th century BC, these Janapadas became Mahajanapadas. Very very important, guys. Please remember. Okay. Then around 16 Mahajanapadas raised along the Gangetic plains. Okay. Among these 16 Mahajanapadas, Koshala and Magadha kingdoms are very very important. Okay, you need not remember all 16 Mahajanapadas, only remember Koshala and Magadha kingdoms. Okay, very very important line here, guys. This is very very important. Gautama Buddha visited Koshala and Magadha kingdoms only. Very very important. Okay, please remember. Then let's quickly understand about Koshala kingdom. The capital city of Koshala kingdom was Ayodhya. Then the famous ruler of the Koshala kingdom was King Prasenajit. During that time, they were making matrimonial alliance with other kingdom to extend their territory. So this Koshala kingdom also made matrimonial alliances. So they made like this. The king Prasenajit's sister married to Bimbisara. Bimbisara was the famous ruler of the first dynasty of Magadha kingdom, that is Aryankya dynasty. Okay, then this king Prasenajit itself married to the daughter of Bimbisara. Okay, please remember. After the death of King Prasenajit, then King Ajatashatru, King Ajatashatru was the son of Bimbisara. Okay, annexed or captured the Koshala kingdom. Then here Koshala kingdom declined. Okay, please remember. Then let's quickly understand about Magadha kingdom. After the decline of Koshala kingdom, this Magadha kingdom arose. Then they raised along the upper and lower Gangetic plains. Okay, the capital city of Magadha kingdom was Rajagriha in Bihar. Very very important, guys. Please remember. Then let's quickly understand about Bimbisara, King Bimbisara. Okay, as I said earlier, he was the famous ruler in first dynasty of Magadha, that is Aryankya dynasty. Okay, as we discussed earlier, he made matrimonial alliance with Koshala kingdom. Okay, please remember. Let's quickly understand about Ajatashatru, King Ajatashatru. Then he was the son of Bimbisara. He fought against Koshala kingdom and annexed the Koshala kingdom. Okay, he met Gautama Buddha also. Very very important, guys. He constructed several chaityas and viharas. Very very important, guys. Please remember. As I discussed in Buddhism chapter, chaityas means place of worship and viharas means dwelling place of monks. Very very important. Please remember. I already discussed in Buddhism chapter also. This King Ajatashatru organized first Buddhist council at Rajagriha in Bihar. Very very important. Please remember. The successor of Ajatashatru was King Udayana. Please remember. Okay. Let's quickly understand about King Udayana. King Udayana changed the capital city of Magadha Empire to Pataliputra in Bihar. Initial capital city was Rajagriha. I already said. Okay. This King King Udayana's successor were very weak. So this kingdom was captured by second dynasty of Magadha kingdom, that is Sai Sunaga dynasty. Please remember. Okay, let's quickly understand about Sai Sunaga dynasty of Magadha kingdom. Okay, it was the second dynasty of Magadha kingdom. Okay, King Sai Sunaga of Sai Sunaga dynasty was the famous ruler. Okay, he was succeeded by Kalashoka. Okay, Kalashoka organized second Buddhist council at Vaisali in Bihar. It was also discussed in Buddhism chapter. Please remember, guys. Okay, Kalashoka was killed by Nanda dynasty. Okay, then here that Magadha kingdom was declined. Okay, then Nanda dynasty arose here. Okay, let's quickly understand about Nanda dynasty. Nanda dynasty arose around 4th century BC. Okay, The famous ruler of Nanda dynasty was Mahapadmananda. Okay, please remember. He was succeeded by his 8 sons. Okay, no need to remember names here, only he was succeeded by eight sons. Okay, very important line here, guys, please remember. Very important, please remember. Okay, Atigumpa inscription of Kalinga dynasty, very important, please remember. Atigumpa inscription of Kalinga dynasty describes conquest of Kalinga by Nandas. Okay, please remember, very important. The last ruler of Nanda dynasty was Dhanananda, please remember. Dhanananda was collecting more taxes from people during his period. Okay, so the famous ruler of Mauryan empire such as Chandragupta Maurya and Kautilya opposed this system and they revolted against him. Okay, later this Nanda dynasty declined, then Mauryan empire emerged. Okay, at the same time that Mauryan empire was emerging, right, at the same time Persian and Greek invaded India. Okay, we will discuss about this in here. Let's understand about Persian and Greek invasion. It has happened around 6th century BC. Okay, let's understand about Persian invasion first. Persia means present day Iran. Okay, please understand here. The famous ruler of Persia was Cyrus. Okay, he was the first ruler to enter into India. Very important line, guys, please remember. He was the great ruler of Achaemenian empire in Persia. Okay, please remember. Then the second famous ruler was Darius I. Okay, he was the grandson of Cyrus. Okay, he conquered Indus Valley, Punjab and Sindh provinces. Okay, please remember. Then third famous ruler of Persia was Xerxes. Okay, Xerxes used Indian soldiers to extend his territory. Okay, later King Alexander, he was the famous king of Greek. Okay, enter into India. So from there that Persian rulers declined. Okay, let's quickly understand about Greek invasion or Alexander invasion. Very important, guys, please remember. This Alexander was from Macedonia. Macedonia is country in European country. It is bordering country of Greece. Okay, this King Alexander read in a great Greek historian, that is Herodotus. At that time Greek famous historian Herodotus written one book on history. In that history book, that Alexander studied that India having a lot of wealth, so he attracted towards India. Okay, then he believed that once he invade India, he will conquer entire eastern part of world. Okay, so he believed like that, so he entered into India. While he entered into India, Battle of Hydaspes happened. Okay, please remember, very important. Once he entered into India, Battle of Hydaspes happened. Hydaspes means the ancient or old name of river Jalam. River Jalam means that is the tributary of Indus river. Please remember. Firstly, that Alexander crossed the Indus river. Okay, then later he was trying to cross Jalam river. Jalam river is the tributary of Indus river. Then at that time, King Porus of Paurava kingdom, King Porus was ruling on the bank of the Jalam river. So while the King Alexander entering into India, at the bank of the Jalam river, King Porus of Paurava kingdom fought against him. So this battle is called as Battle of Hydaspes. Okay, please remember, very important, guys. Here Alexander defeated the King Porus. Okay, then further this King Alexander annexed Bias river territory. Bias is also one of the tributary of Indus river. Okay, and later he decided to extend towards Gangetic plain. That Alexander first conquered that bank of Jalam, then later he conquered Indus, then later he conquered Bias river territory, then later he was trying to extend towards Gangetic plain, but at that time his soldiers became very weak and they failed to fought against the king, that Indian kings. Okay, then at that time that Alexander died due to serious ill at around 323 BC. Okay, please remember. Then let's quickly understand about effects of Persian and Greek invasion. Okay, we will understand here. First, we will understand about Persian invasion. That Persian and Greek invasion happened for around 200 years, which means we can say that they invaded India for 200 years. Okay, please remember. So let's quickly understand about effects of Persian invasion in India, which means after invading that Persian invasion happened, that Indo-Iranian commerce increased. We can say that the trade started between two countries, that is India and Iran. Then second effect was that Karashi script, very important script, guys. Please remember Karashi script. It was the famous script of Iranian writing. Became popular in northwestern India. Okay, and the famous ruler of Mauryan Empire, that is Ashoka, used this script in his inscription. Very important. Please remember. Then third effect was that evidence of Persian arts in the arts of Mauryan, which means we can say that we can find the Persian arts in the Mauryan arts. Okay, for example, the monolithic pillars of Ashoka and sculpture that were found were example for the Persian arts. Okay, please remember. Then let's quickly understand about effects of Greek invasion, or also called Alexander invasion. After Greek invasion, trade began between India and Greece, especially naval route trade began between India and West Asia. Okay, then second effect was unification of North India under Mauryans happened. We can say that after Alexander invasion, that Mauryan empire arose, which means they unified the North Indian kingdom. Then Mauryan empire arose in North India around 320 BC. Okay, this much is sufficient, guys. No need to get confused here. So I am stopping here. So in my next video, we will thoroughly understand about Mauryan empire. Okay.